Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel and a happy 2024. Today we're making Budae Jjigae or army stew. First we're going to smash up 2 cloves of garlic and give this a nice little mince. We're going to pop this in a bowl with a half tablespoon of sugar, half tablespoon gochugaru, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of mirin, and 2 tablespoons of gochujang. We're going to give this a really good mix and set that aside while we look at the rest of our very unusual ingredients. Now we're going to need a variety of mushrooms, a little tofu, some cocktail wieners, spam, kimchi, as well as 1 little round of ramen noodles, rice cakes, 2 slices of American cheese, and some scallions. So we're going to chop up 2 scallions and set that aside. For the mushrooms, I got a pre-packaged gourmet blend. So the shiitake is already sliced for me. We're just going to pull apart the enoki and carefully rip the king oyster mushrooms. Next, we're going to slice up 4 of our cocktail wieners just on a bias to make it look a little fancier. The glorious ploop of spam. We're only going to use half of this and we're going to slice this pretty thin. Now, army stew came around during wartime in Korea, and it was basically a stew made up of whatever canned goods and fresh ingredients that the servicemen had. Next, we are going to cut up a 1/4 of a block of tofu, and the reason mine looks like this is because I like to freeze it, then defrost it. It changes the texture. Last but not least, we need a 1/2 cup of really nicely fermented kimchi. We're just going to chop this into smaller pieces. And now we're ready to start cooking our army stew. Now, in a large, shallow pot, over medium-high heat, we're going to add in all of our mushrooms, just in 1 little pile. Next, we're going to place in our spam. And yes, these are a lot of unusual ingredients, but it's amazing how well they all come together in the end. Placing in our cocktail wieners, our tofu, and of course our kimchi. It's going to add a little sourness and funkiness, and it's really good for your gut. Now that sauce we made, we're going to pour that straight into the middle. Then we're going to pour in 4 cups of chicken broth all around the edge. Now we're going to cover this up and let this cook for 8 minutes just to get all those flavors combined. After 8 minutes, we can take off the lid, place in our ramen noodles in the middle. I just use a packet of Jin ramen and save the seasoning for later use. Adding in our rice cakes. We need about a 1/2 cup of rice cakes. You can use the coins or the sticks, whatever you have, and sprinkling on our scallions. We're going to bring this up to a low boil, because we're just going to cook this until those ramen noodles are cooked through. And last but not least, the piece de resistance for this is 2 slices of American cheese. Once our ramen noodles are cooked, our Budae Jjigae is done, and it's looking pretty fantastic. Now we can go ahead and give this a taste. And like the servicemen in the past, I'm going to use the lid as a plate. Yeah, there's so much flavor in this. You don't think this is going to work, but it comes together so beautifully. You get the saltiness from the spam, the earthiness from the mushrooms, the spiciness from the gochujang and the gochugaru, that little hint of garlic in there, different texture with the tofu, the chewiness of the rice cakes, and the onioniness from the scallion, and that cheese on top just kind of mellows all those flavors out and almost brings them all together. Now, this is not something you would normally make, but I really do hope that you try to make this in your home. But there it is, Budae Jjigae Korean army stew. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today and for joining me on the first video of 2024. If you like this video, give it a like. If you loved it, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell if you haven't already, because I put out new videos every Thursday. Thank you so much again. And until next time, happy cooking.